guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I hope you stick around, like, subscribe, and comment. I post content on hair care and travel and lifestyle. Unfortunately, we're not traveling right now because of the quarantine, but I thought I would come on here and do a video on some of the ways that I maintenance healthy hair. And to start off, so growing up, I never had a perm. I've actually still to this day have never had a relaxer in my hair. However, growing up, I did a poor job of maintaining my hair. And I don't blame anyone but myself because, you know, your parents teach you what they know. And so growing up, I straightened my hair regularly. When I say regularly, like flat iron, hot comb, you name it, I was using it to straighten my hair. And then on top of that, I wasn't washing it as regularly as I should because, you know, when someone has straight hair, water is like the enemy. So I would be like, nope, I can't wet my hair. It's straight. Like, no moisture, no heat, no, that's not what we're doing. And so I did that up until my mid-20s. And it wasn't until I started grad school that I really started to focus on my natural hair journey and realizing that this is something that I really needed to take care of because this was bad. I remember going to the hairdresser and she's saying, have you ever thought about cutting your hair? And I was like, why? She was like, because your ends are really bad. So I recommend you cut your hair into this short cut, and then it allow it to grow healthy hair. And I did it, and at first I was scared because I was like, I've never had short hair, but I've also never had healthy thick hair because of the fact that I applied so much heat to it and I just didn't take care of it. So it was literally at that moment that I started my quote-unquote natural hair journey, because I don't necessarily think that before that point it was a natural hair journey, just because I wasn't practicing it. Like, I was literally straightening my hair every other day, or using a flat iron, or using a curling iron, or using a hot comb. And then I wasn't using the proper products. So I wouldn't even call that a natural hair journey. So one of the things that I started to do once I cut my hair was I minimize and cut out most heat products. When I say most, I mean that I only applied heat to my hair when I went to the hairdresser. And that was only every 3 to 4 months. And that was my routine at the time. Since then, it's changed. But at the time, I decided that the heat was the enemy. And I didn't use a hot comb. I didn't use a curling iron. I didn't use a flat iron. I didn't use anything that required heat. And I actually that's when I started doing braid outs. And that's when I started doing twist outs. And so my first number one tip is to minimize heat. If at all, just cut it out. And only do it when you are doing kind of like these preps. So say for instance you get your hair straightened once a year or twice a year or something like that. That's okay. But to do it regularly, it's not recommended. It's not something that I do. I don't do that. So if you ever see my hair straight on my Instagram or, you know, out or in social media, it's because I went to the hairdresser. I'm never going to straighten my hair myself. It's just not something that I would do. It's not my calling. It's not my journey. I feel like I would sweat it out in the process of straightening it. Like, that's how bad I think I would be at it. And I don't really care to try. So that's like my first tip. That's the first thing that I have incorporated. I minimize the amount of heat that I put to my hair. I only do it when I go to the hairdresser. Step number 2 was I started using a sulfate-free shampoo or sulfate-free shampoos. I don't use any shampoos that have sulfate or phthalates or any of those really bad chemicals. I can list them down below. Don't use shampoos that are not sulfate-free. And there's tons to choose from now. We're blessed enough to be in a time period where there's so many different options. There's Creme of Nature, there's the Nourish brand by Trader Joe's, which is very, very cost effective. There's Cantu, there's Shea Moisture, there's just so many. There's Design Essentials. I'll list like 5 below that I tried and I'm a fan of. And in addition to washing my hair in the shower, I will also do scalp massages where I'm massaging my hair to make sure that the product is, getting into the scalp, not getting into the scalp, but cleansing my scalp of the impurities, the sweat, and all that other stuff, but also making sure that the follicle and the scalp is stimulated so that my hair will grow. I also, to piggyback off of that, I also, on my wash day, what I will do is I always deep condition. There's not a wash day that goes by that I don't deep condition. I find that it's very rewarding and it adds so much moisture to my hair. I don't care how sulfate-free a shampoo is. If I do not deep condition my hair after I wash it, girl, it's a struggle. I don't care what shampoo it is. My hair is soft to a certain point. And then after that, it needs a little bit of TLC, and that's where the deep conditioner come in. So what I'll do is leave it in my hair for about 15 minutes to between 15 and 45 minutes. It just depends on the day. It depends on what I got going on. But that's what I will do to make sure the moisture is put back into my hair. So that's another step that I've incorporated, is always, always, always deep conditioning. The next thing that I do to ensure that I have healthy hair is that I make sure my hair is moisturized. For me, I like thick, creamier moisturizers. So I like a Cantu moisturizer. I like the Eden moisturizer. I like the Melly moisturizer, all of which I'm going to list down below. Those moisturizers to me have been very rewarding and they have been very helpful in restoring moisture back into my hair. So keeping your hair moisturized and also sealing your hair with an oil. Some of my favorites are oil, the Melanin multi-blend oil, the Haitian Castor Oil, as well as I also like the Jamaican Castor Oil as well. So those are some of the oils that I use to seal my hair to make sure that the moisture is trapped inside. The next thing that I always sleep with a silk or satin scarf. I also, if I am feeling super, super lazy and I don't want to wear the scarf because or my hair won't dry because the scarf is on, I know that's the thing. It's a thing. It happens. I will put on a satin or silk pillowcase on my pillow, and that will kind of like cancel the need for a satin pillowcase for me. That's always something that I've done. I don't do it very regularly. I'm just used to sleeping with a satin scarf, but I feel like it's a very helpful tool, especially if you're not a fan of satin or silk scarves. Another thing that I've incorporated into my regimen is that I do gentle protective styles. I don't really do anything that's going to tug at my edges. I don't do anything that's going to break off on my hair. There's not a lot of experimenting. I kind of leave my hair alone when it comes to that. I might style it. I might put it in twists or braids, and then just leave it for a few days and then take it out. So that's one of the things that I do, is I do practice gentle protective styles. I also may just put it up into a messy bun or put it up and tuck it under. That way it's out of the elements, it's out of the way. I might even put on a hat. So I do gentle protective styles. The next thing I do is I drink plenty of water. I know that's like a given, but I feel like people don't really understand how important drinking water is. I think people like to think that, oh, I don't like water, but it's a direct translation into the hair that grows out of your body. I hope you guys find this list helpful. If you have any comments or any additions that I maybe should be adding to my routine, comment down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.